No businesses enjoy creating content because it's time consuming, it's costly, and it requires a lot of thinking and effort, and no one likes that shit. So that's why there's a lot of businesses coming up with these amazing AI tools, which are basically just a magic wand you can wave and all your troubles will go away and money will come raining down from the sky. One of those is Blaze.ai, and it promises AI that does the marketing for you. So now you can wave goodbye to your freelancers and your agencies and all those hours spent poring over creating your own content, because this amazing tool with over 4,000 customers and 5 out of 5 star ratings will do all the work for you. Right? Wrong. In my super professional review of this tool, I will go through 3 use cases of Blaze AI and show you why the output is absolute garbage. Why should you listen to me? Because I am a multiple 6-figure copywriter. I've worked with brands like NordVPN and PandaDoc and OpusClip, and if I was good enough for them, then my advice is probably going to be good enough for you. So stay tuned as I break down why this tool is not worth your money and what you should do instead. All right, let's have a look at Blaze AI. AI that does marketing for you. Let's put it to a test. Get started for free. Okay, so I've typed in my credit card details because they offer a free trial, and I will cancel that shit immediately if it doesn't pay off. How would you describe your marketing experience? I am a marketing pro, obviously. Create your brand kit. A personalized brand kit captures your voice, style, and visuals. No more generic AI content that sounds like everyone else. This is promising. How do I create one? Just paste in your website and Blaze will automatically analyze your brand voice, pull your logo, colors, and fonts, and add any images and video to your brand kit. That is easy. I love it. Now, this is my website with my nicely AI generated photo, my logo, and a lot of copy they can use to train their model on, so it should sound exactly like me. Pulling colors, scraping fonts, searching for a voice. I hope they find one. Boom, let's confirm your new brand kit. That's fine, I don't really care much about this right now. We gave you a head start with some of the images we found on your site. Review brand voice. The why of your communication and content. That's going to be interesting. Educate an inexperienced audience, promote a free course, encourage engagement with potential clients. Audience, aspiring copywriters, small business owners, and entrepreneurs. Well, that's slightly odd because my audience clearly says coaches, creators, and consultants. That was pretty obvious from the headline, but all right. My tone is conversational, casual, and direct. My emotions are confident, encouraging, and optimistic. My character is the expert, the trusted advisor, and relatable. My language is simple, informal, and playful. Save. Your brand kit is ready. What do you want to create first? Now, we could go for blog posts, but I feel like no one actually reads blogs anymore because we're now back in the dark ages of SEO, where it was all about churning out a bunch of stuff and cramming in a bunch of keywords, and now hoping it gets picked up by AI and then summarized in a much more eloquent way. So no one cares about blog posts anymore. I'm not really big on Instagram, and Facebook has little to no engagement, so let's go with LinkedIn. We turned your website from your brand kit into a LinkedIn post for you. I am so excited. Okay, edit the caption for your post. Ever feel like your copy just isn't cutting through the noise? It's time to rethink what you know about copywriting. Now, first of all, this is not a hook. If you want to find a hook, you go to one of the top copywriters on LinkedIn, and that would be Yasmin, who is one of the top dogs in personal branding, and he's also an excellent copywriter. So you can go to his posts here and then see how he writes a hook and then how he formats the actual text, and then we can compare it side by side with what Blaze produces. For example, here, they say LinkedIn's changed. I disagree. Literally everything that works is the same, and now you want to click the more button, and then he has his post here. Now contrast that with what Blaze has put out. Okay, so we need a couple of sentences as the hook, but ever feel like a copy just isn't cutting through the noise? I guess that could be a pain point that people have. It's time to rethink what you know about copywriting. Okay, we're gonna say this hook is all right. Mastering copywriting isn't just about pretty words, it's about strategy that drives conversions. Okay, cool. Did you know that focusing on your audience's pain points can triple your response rates? It's not magic, it's proven techniques, insights, and a good dose of empathy. So far, so good, Blaze. Start thinking like your customers. What keeps them up at night? What do they wish someone would say? When you tap into that, your copy can shift from bland to brilliant and truly connect. Once you understand their needs, you can create content that resonates, engages, and converts. Don't just sell, tell a story they can't resist. In a world where everyone's fighting for attention, let your copy be the beacon that cuts through the chaos. Connect, convert, conquer. Okay, so the reason I'm not really a big fan of this content is, first first of all, it's not really formatted for readability. If you look at Yasmin's post here, you can see that his sentences are very short, around 6 to 8 words, and that's because a lot of people read this stuff on mobile. So if you have longer sentences, they get squished and it creates a wall of text, and no one wants to read that shit. But then he breaks it up by using some bullet points here. He adds a bit of personality by having this in all caps and then a lot of R's to emphasize these 3 will never change. And that adds a bit of personality to his way of writing. Then he also uses some arrows and all this stuff. And then he quotes Lil Wayne, of all people, because Yasmin is also a rapper, or used to be a rapper, so that's why he's making these kind of references, and that's part of his personal brand. Now, if you look at the copy on my website, you'll see that I have employed a similar technique. I'm breaking things up with bullet points, and I'm not afraid to use expletives to emphasize a point, because I swear like a sailor in real life. None of that is really evident here, and that's probably because it's using some prompts they have already put into the model, and then they're trying to insert some of my brand voice as a sample piece that it can be trained on. But I still don't really think that the output here is that impressive. Now, of course, you can choose to regenerate it, so let's take that for a spin. But this one is actually even worse. Now we're talking about mastering copywriting isn't just about clever phrases, it's about understanding your audience and crafting messages that resonate. This is all well and good, but A, it's stating the obvious, and B, it's vague as fuck. Because here we're talking about the right techniques can transform your content from bland to impactful. Okay, cool. What are those techniques? If you are going to give copywriting tips, you should say, this is what you're doing wrong, here's how to do it right. Not, you need to go and do further reading. This is basically what this post is doing. Investing time into mastering these skills isn't just smart, it's essential. Yeah, well, no shit. What are the skills? What are the tactics? What are the techniques that I can apply now and get results now? That's what people reading content want to know. And this is why this kind of stuff falls into the category of nonsensical AI fluff that's just flooding the internet and makes me want to click this button that says, I'll write my own. And then select the design you would like to start with. Okay, so I'll pick this one that says master copywriting, I guess, and then generate post. Wow, this is the final output. A vague and generic hook and generic visual to go with it. Masterfully created AI slop. Let's see what else Blaze AI's got. What if I want to create a sales email? Warm outbound or cold outbound? Let's try warm. What is the objective and audience for your warm outbound email sequence? Well, the point of me using this kind of tool is that I don't want to do any of the work myself, right? Because if I wanted to do that, I could just head over to ChatGPT and then use the dictate or the voice mode function here, right? And then tell them what I wanted to say. I don't even have that option here. So if I was really lazy and didn't feel like typing, I would still have to go over to ChatGPT and then explain what I wanted, so it would type it out for me, and then I could go back to Blaze and paste it in here. But for the purposes of this, I'm just going to say fill in this box for me because I'm interested in seeing what they're going to pull from my site. Exploring foundational copywriting strategies that can elevate your business communication and increase client engagement. Wow. This is like has been written by ChatGPT from 2023. These essential techniques. What's this? Have Blaze autofill the rest. Okay, great. So this is supposed to be a warm outreach email. Pick up to 3 image suggestions to add to the post. The question is also, why do we need to add images? I mean, some of the best email copywriters use plain text. So I'm not really sure where these guys get their information from. All right, let's see this. Warm outreach sales email. And it even creates several variants, which I quite like. Okay, let's have a look at this. Exploring foundational copywriting strategies. Beautiful nonsensical title. Variant 1, piquing curiosity. Subject line, uncover copywriting strategies that work. Now, this is a terrible subject line for many reasons. It's not promising a specific result, and it's not making me curious at all. Right? So if I was going to write something like that, I would say, this copywriting trick landed me 5 clients in 3 days, or something like that. It has to be something that my audience desires, which is clients. It has to be something that shows that it's easy or even effortless, which is getting 5 clients in 3 days or whatever it is. And then they might be inclined to click open and read the actual email. But okay, let's continue to the body. Ever felt like your business communication could use a little spark? No one feels that. You know, grabbing attention and keeping it? Okay, fair enough. That's where copywriting strategies come into play. We've put together a free course packed with email copywriting tips and tricks to boost your client engagement. It's like having a trusted advisor in your corner, guiding you toward crafting effective emails that really make a difference. Wow. And this is what I say to my clients usually, that you have to be specific, right? When you say stuff like, it has copywriting tips and tricks that'll boost your client engagement, what does that mean in concrete terms? We have to promise something specific and paint a picture of what success looks like in their mind, right? These copywriting tips and tricks will make you stand out from the generic AI sludge that's all over LinkedIn and attract your dream clients and fill your pipeline and get you that Ferrari you've always wanted. Crafting effective emails that really make a difference. What does that mean? It means we're going to boost your open rates by 20%. We're going to boost your conversion rates by 5%, and this will pay off in spades. So why not take the leap? Sign up now and let's get started on transforming the way you communicate with your clients. It's time to make every word count. Looking forward to seeing you there. Now, again, granted, this is a tiny step above what you would expect from an untrained chat. But that said, it's nowhere near my tone of voice or writing style, and it's definitely not persuasive. Same thing here. The subject line is supercharge your business communication. No one wants to supercharge their business communication. And then the first line here, are you ready to step up your business communications game? Who the fuck ever bought any products or services with that kind of value proposition? Do you want to step up your business communications game? Oh my god. And then the placement of these images, I'm not really sure why we need to have an image with a caption that says business communication strategy in the middle of this email. The email would have been, if we just remove this, the email would have been much more effective if it was just this, because now you can see that it's a short email. This makes it feel like it's a long ass blog post that no one can be bothered to read. Anyway, what else we got here? See everything that you can do. So we tried LinkedIn posts. We tried a warm outbound email. Let's try a blog post. What would you like to write about? Copywriting techniques from Gary Halbert. And then it has a suggested continuation that can inspire modern marketers to create compelling messages that resonate deeply with their audience and drive sales. No, actually, I think that my initial... Oh, it doesn't give me the option not to use it. Great. Okay, and then it just continues. In this post, we'll explore Halbert's timeless strategies, such as the importance of storytelling and the art of simplicity. Yeah, okay, cool, if you insist. Have Blaze autofill the rest. Okay, generate some compelling titles for me. This is like typical ChatGPT, right? It has part of a title and then a colon and then another shitty part of the title here. And the thing is, these are not good titles that makes you want to click, right? Gary Halbert's secret for compelling copywriting, or crafting messages to convert with Gary Halbert's wisdom. Also, like, none of this is unique to Gary Halbert. I mean, loads of copywriters have used storytelling in their content and kept their copy simple because that's how you sell to people. But anyway, let's just roll with one of them and then see where this takes us, because I'm excited to see the absolute car crash that this blog post is going to be. And then the introduction starts. In the world of marketing, standing out is no easy feat, but Gary Halbert's copywriting techniques offer a treasure trove of insights for anyone looking to craft captivating content. Right. Sure, let's roll with it if you guys think that this is what a good blog post looks like. What links would you like to include? Boost your SEO by incorporating a mix of internal and external links. Okay, select images. Sure, let's just add some images. Maximum 3, okay. Generate the post. Show me your magic. Okay, so I mean, it writes pretty fast, and apart from the intro, it seems like it's able to write not walls of text. Actually not bad. I mean, the intro is absolutely atrocious, right? Because no one starts an article with "in the world of marketing" unless they are not in the world of marketing. But okay, let's see if we can break this up a bit so it looks readable. Okay, so known for his razor-sharp ability to capture attention and drive sales, Halbert's principles are as relevant today as ever. The thing is, that's not what made him unique, is it? Because all the most well-known copywriters are known for their razor-sharp ability to capture attention and drive sales. That's why they're copywriters and famous. In this post, we're going to explore how Halbert's timeless strategies can help modern marketers create compelling copywriting that cuts through the noise. This is the most generic, bland slop I've read in a while. And here is another crime you should never commit in SEO if you're creating SEO content, and that is to include an external link in your introduction, because what's going to happen then? People are going to read this and go like, well, this is fucking garbage. Can I be bothered to read 1,000 words more of this? Or should I just click this link, which will lead us to a much more well-written blog on the same topic. And that's how you get people to bounce from your website. So don't do that. The power of storytelling and marketing, crafting relatable narratives in today's information-loaded world. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to read out the rest of this blog. First of all, because it's a waste of your time, and second of all, because it makes me sad. But what I can tell you is that none of this stuff is built on Gary Halbert's copywriting techniques. What they've basically done here is that they've taken the stuff that ChatGPT has already been trained on when it comes to copywriting, which is mostly garbage because most copywriters are garbage, and ChatGPT is trained on a vast pool of information, of which most of those sources are useless. It hasn't been trained on individual copywriters' work, which is why I can't draw on it. And this AI, whatever model they're using, is also not doing any online searches because if it did, it would be able to pull some of the unique stuff that makes Gary Halbert special and incorporate it into this piece, which it hasn't. So essentially what it's done is it's created a blog post with generic copywriting advice and then inserted Gary Halbert's name into it to pass off these ideas and concepts as his unique thinking and frameworks. And then they've linked to some external sources that actually write about Gary Halbert. So this blog post is completely useless because it doesn't actually provide anything new and of value. And then if I don't know what alt text is, which I probably don't as the average user of this kind of tool, then I'll just have 3 images at the end of my blog post and then a caption that says alt text. By the way, alt text is what you show in case the image doesn't load. So it's also a thing that you need to know for writing SEO content. And then it says here the content SEO score is 80. You can check for plagiarism and all this other stuff. The thing is that no one is actually going to read this slop, so all of this stuff at the side doesn't matter. Cool, so I think we're done with Blaze AI. It was every bit as terrible as I expected it to be. Now all there's left to do is quickly go over to your billing, and then where is the big red cancellation button so we can not have them charge us for this absolute garbage? Account, manage subscription, cancel. Before you cancel, maybe we can help. No, you just tried to help me and you failed miserably. Cancel subscription. Please tell us why you're canceling to help us improve Blaze. AI generations are not good enough. The pricing isn't worth the value. I found another tool I like better. Which wizards weren't good enough for you? Any of them. What would make the price worth the value for you? What would make the price worth the value for you? Is that even a properly phrased question? How about $1? Which tool are you switching to? ChatGPT. We appreciate your time and hope to see you again soon. I doubt it. Your subscription is cancelled, but you still have access to Blaze until August 5th. Good, because now that I still have access to it, I can also delete my account. Something went wrong. Please try again later. No, you cannot delete your account. You will have access to this until the 5th of August. Fuck me. All right, so that kind of wraps up my Blaze AI review. I hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, it was completely and utterly useless. You'll get much better results from playing around with ChatGPT or Claude and just experimenting until you get better at creating content yourself. What I would also recommend is that you go to the description of this video. There's a link to my free copywriting course. Over the next 30 days, I'll send you 30 tips on how to become a better copywriter that you can immediately apply and plug into ChatGPT. So when you write content, you can say, here's a tip from Frederick. Apply this to this LinkedIn post or blog post or email that you're helping me write, and I promise you the output will be a whole lot fucking better than what you've seen here. So hope to see you inside and stay tuned for more content.